Well, hello. I need an accountability buddy this weekend because I need to clear some books off my plate. I've gone in too hard and there are things that I'm letting slip and I need to get back on track. So this is the weekend for it. Let me show you my plans. I need to finish Barkskins. Yes, I do. I've got all the things here in my little book. I have 81 pages left to go. I have this buddy read with Patrice Jones, who we all know on BookTube. She's a lovely commenter, and she is way ahead of me on this. I was going to read it through the week, but then I read A Constant Hum, and that's a lot of emotion. And this is also a lot of emotion. So my plan is to get this done this weekend and sort of catch up with Patrice and all of her wonderful messages. So this is how many pages have I got left? 144 pages left to go, so not much. I have The Blue Plateau, which I'm reading with Jenny Johnston. This is a beautiful, calming, lovely book. 117 pages left to go of this lovely book, and then I'll let you know my thoughts. It's beautiful. And then I have one that's been plaguing me for ages. You guys have all seen this a million times. I don't know why I've not made this a priority. I think I've said that a number of times before as well, but it's a great book. So how many? 310 pages to get this one finished. So those are the 4 books that I need to finish. But then I've got others down here that are sort of month-long buddy reads, and I need to read the section that I should have read during the week, and I haven't done it. So advice for us. So dearie me, dearie me, dearie me. I've got to read the next section. How many pages? 114 pages. It's sad when I'm not really excited about picking a book up, but I'm not really excited about picking this book up. I've got Once Upon a River. I love this book. I would sit with this book all day if I could, but anyway. So what have I got? 97 pages to read before I complete that. I've got Americana. So I've got to read the first chunk, which is, 224 pages. Oh, yeah. It's like the half of a Yellow Sun that's been sitting back there half read for a long time. Oh, and then this one. Daniela and I had a bit of a break. But we really need to get cracking, don't we, Daniela? And that's 125 pages, a very small print. That's the stack. There we go. There's the stack. So when I wrote all of this down, I worked out it was 1,212 pages. And when I divided that by 50, because I tend to read 50 pages in an hour, it came to just over 24 hours of reading to get done in 2 days. So then I thought, well, this is like my very own 24 in 48 challenge. I just didn't really mean to be doing that, but that's really what I've got to do. In terms of personal plans, there's a couple of those happening. I've got an extra child here today, but that's cool. They're doing their own thing. There's lots going on. So this is completely unrealistic. I'm very aware. But anyway, it's a little fun challenge. Let's just see how I go. At least if I finish those 4 books, that will make me happy. But I really need to get caught up on a place for, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's now, I think, just after 10 a.m., maybe a little further than just after. But let's just start the clock. I've got 24 hours of reading ahead of me. Oh God, I'm tired just thinking about it. Right, first up is down the bottom of the pile. Oh. First up is Barkskins. Let's make this happen, get this finished. I'll see you on the other side. Hi. It's a few hours later. I've been dealing with children and things like that. But I finished Barkskins in amongst all of it. This is a big book, yeah? And Heidi and I, from My Reading Life, have been reading this for, I don't know, a couple of months now at least. It runs over many, many, many years. Many, many, many years. Where does it start? And it ends in the 60s, I think. It starts in 1693 and ends in 1960. So it runs over many years. It takes us through with a group of people and their descendants. And the overarching theme of all of it is the destruction of the forests and the rise of the timber industry in the northern parts of America. And what comes along with that is the destruction of an Indian way of life and the First Nations people of the land up in Maine and Nova Scotia, like that's sort of the area that it's set in. It's devastating in some parts and a really good tale in others. I am doing this with my face because after how many pages? 800 pages maybe? 700 pages. After 700 pages, I just got a really bad ending. And I'm really bummed about that. The last 2 sections I felt were really, really, really rushed. And at the start, each section, we met someone, we got invested in their life, they led us to somewhere else, and then they died. And then we picked up somebody else and we went through that process. But in the last 2 sections, the amount of people and characters and names that I was introduced to was just too many, and people were dying and I wasn't invested in invested in them and who they were and what their relationship was to the trees and to the forest. It just was all way too much. So yeah, it's left a bit of a little bad taste in my mouth. I think it's a 4-star book. The ending makes me want to give it 3.5 or something, but it really, really was enjoyable to read. For, it was only the last 2 sections, which is kind of like the last 150 pages or so that made me cranky. So, I don't know, it could just be me not liking an ending, not feeling satisfied because I wanted something else. But if you're interested in sort of historical fiction and sort of an underlying nature base, then yeah, it's a good book. It is a good book. 4 stars. There we go. So I did that. My reading time for that was 1.5 hours. So I'm just going to keep counting the hours that I actually read. So that's done. I'm just getting their lunch together and things like that, but I need to pick up my next book. I think I might get into this. This book is written by a woman who is writing just the everyday ordinary people's stories from the Syrian conflict. And sometimes we get caught up in the facts and the big players in it when we forget about the people that are involved, because this was their home, right? So I don't know if I'll finish this in one sitting. It might be a little too much for me, but I'll keep checking in and letting you know where I'm at with my hours read and the books I'm getting through. I've just done another 1.75 hours of reading. I am a fair way through the morning they came for us, and then I had to, when I say reading, I spent that time a little bit up and down, but also checking in with my buddy on Voxer and listening to Patrice's messages, which are really informative and cool. So yeah, I'm up to page 104 in this book now. I have about 60 pages to go, but the intensity is huge, and I just probably need a little break from it. So I'm going to put this down for a while now. I think I just need to delve into a really calm, easy book. And I happen to have one of those. This one. This is The Blue Plateau. This is a landscape memoir, but it's about a man writing, a man who lives lived, I don't think he lives there anymore, I'll have to look that up, in the Blue Mountains region down in New South Wales. And his words are poetic, and he writes about the different parts of that landscape with just such beauty. It's just gorgeous. So I just kind of need to lose myself in Mark Trednick's words for a bit, and then I will, maybe come back to that a bit later on. But yeah, I'm going to try and get as much of this read and check in with my buddy. So far I've read for 3.25 hours. And so far this has been going for about 4.5 hours. So I'm doing good so far. Be nice to have read for that whole time, but apparently people need to eat. You know the drill of my life. Okay, anyway, that's just a little check-in. I will chat to you when this little reading session finishes. Hi. It's 3:30. Yeah, it's 3:30 now. I just read for another 45 minutes and checked in with my buddy on the next part of this, which was Escarpment. It's just lovely. It's just such amazing writing. I can't even tell you how beautiful it is. I've got how much left? 89 pages left of this, but I have to get going and get ready for the evening. So far I've done a 4 hours. So what's that, 20 hours left to go in the next couple of days. Anyway, I don't know whether I'll get much reading done tonight. Hopefully I will, but yeah, we're going to go out and have some dinner and meet some friends and do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, if I do, I will check in with you. Thanks for making me accountable. This is really working. I'm making, there's action in Natalie's reading life. I love it. Okay, talk soon, bye. Look at that moon, can you see it? Oh, you can't see it, it's red. Oh, how gorgeous. Hello, we just got back from the draft and I'm so tired. It's 8:30, so what am I? 10 hours. I'm 10 hours into the 48 hours and I've read for 4 hours. So what does that mean? I've got 38 hours left to read 20 hours worth of stuff. Oh God, all of this maths. I'm going to sit down with this, I think, and end off my night nicely with some lovely words. Okay, I just did 20 minutes. I just finished the next section and checked in with my buddy. So I just made a little bit of progress, but now I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. So 4 hours, 20 minutes. Let's see what tomorrow will bring. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow for a great day of reading. Night. I just opened up my YouTube and I saw the Gone with the Book readathon that Mel's doing, and from Mel's Bookland Adventures, and it's for books published prior between 1900 and 1950. And so I went through all my shelves here and I couldn't go to sleep unless I knew that I had some, and look how many I've got. I've probably got many more, but that's enough. It only runs for 3 weeks, so I don't think I can read all of these books in that time, but it's always good when you can match a readathon to the books that are on your shelf. It makes you pick them up. If there's any that you see there that I should read, let me know. Okay. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, nearly 6 a.m. and I'm up and ready to do this. Though I'm feeling a little demoralised because I realised that I shouldn't have slept for so long last night. So when I just did some maths, I've worked out that this is pretty much impossible. So we're just under 20 hours in. I've only read for 4 hours. And so I've got 28 hours left to read 20 hours worth of stuff. So even if I read 10 hours today, I've got to read 10 hours before 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. No, that's not going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. So who knows? I'm just going to read and chalk up the hours and see how we go. I've got my 2 books in front of me that I want to get finished today, but I'm going to start with The Blue Plateau because it's a lovely, calm way to work, to start my day. I just love it. I've said that a million times. Anyway, I've only got a couple of sections left. My buddy Jenny Johnston, she's just checked in for the next section, so I got up to date with the buddy read, which is wonderful. Yeah, so I'm going to finish this and with my cup of tea, and I'm going to let you know when this is done. Okay, let's start reading. It's 6 a.m. Good morning. Okay, oh gosh, I've still got makeup on under my eyes. Sorry about that. Didn't clean off my makeup last night. Nice. Okay, I just finished the next part of A Blue Plateau. It was on fire, can you believe it? So I've had fire books everywhere and I'm in the middle of watching forest fires that are going crazy around these parts, smoke constantly in the air. Yeah, so it was a very interesting chat about that. This man can write, so everything was lovely, and yeah, I can't believe I'm surrounded by it at the moment. But anyway, I've just checked in with my buddy Jenny. So that took me about 40 minutes to do. So I'm at 5 hours. Okay, we'll just keep chalking it up, keep tallying. But I have to stop now because Doris just sent me a Voxer message saying that Witty Novels, does anybody follow Whitney at Witty Novels? I love her. And she went missing for a while. She, just had a break from BookTube. And now she's back and she's put up her first vlog. And Doris's message was stop everything because we need to watch this vlog. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll get back to reading. Little interruptions. I love it. Okay, I'm on the road. I decided to go to the gym. And I haven't done any reading since I last spoke to you. I've been on Voxer. I've cleaned my bathrooms and my toilets, which is gross. And then I thought I'll just go in and do a quick step class and just get some energy for the day. I was planning to spend a lot of time in bed, but I feel like I want to get moving, so this is what we're going to do. Right, I'm going to put on some music, have a sing, and then I'll talk to you when I'm reading again, when we can start the book count. It's 11:30. I'm going to start reading again. I need to write that down. I'm going to get this book finished. This is the one I want to finish. I'm in a get shit done kind of mood. So this is the kind of book that I need to read for that mood. Not a nice dreamy calm book. I need to this is a non-fiction Syrian war correspondent kind of action-packed book. Is that mood reading? Is there a whole discussion about whether you're a mood reader or not? Haven't I heard Steve Donahue say that's a load of rubbish? I don't know. Anyway, this is what I'm doing. 11:30. Let's see whether we can get a good hour in. Oh, probably not. Let's see how much we can get done. This is where I'm at. I'm sitting in a car park. My children and my husband are in their recycling bottles. I've just been to a football do out in the hot sun, and there were heaps of flying ants, so we pulled the pinoli. And all I want to do, hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. All I want to do is go home and drink gin on my couch and watch the netball final, this Australian netball final on. My buddies, Jacqueline and Julia, have given me some gin inspiration. So I need to kind of do that because I was supposed to wait for summer, but it's so bloody hot. I mean, we've completely missed a season here. So the 24 and 48 has really turned into 5 hours and 48 in 48 hours. How do people do this? Oh wait, they don't get distracted by gin. That's the reason. So yeah, I'll let you know how my afternoon ends up. But if I read some more, you will be the first person that I tell. So I haven't got any more reading done, but I've been lucky enough to watch this sunset unfold. Isn't it amazing? I'll talk to you tomorrow. Holy moly. It's Monday night. It's Monday night. I had such plans of checking in with you when the 48 hours were up and letting you know what happened. And then the day came and took me for a ride. So the first time I'm sitting down to do any sort of reading, chat, anything reading related, which is such a shame. It's really hot. I need ice water. So I left you last night with that beautiful sunset. And then after that all went down, I grabbed a cup of peppermint tea and I came in and I finished those 2 books. Yes, I did. And checked in with my buddies. So I finished The Blue Plateau, a landscape memoir by Mark Trednick. Jenny and I are going to do a video on this because this is a really interesting style of writing. I don't pretend that I've read a lot of nature writing, but this is a really new way that I've never seen before. that the landscape was presented to us. And Mark Jodnick made a note of this being creative nonfiction in the back, and I loved that term, and it made me think a lot. So yeah, Jenny and I are going to share our thoughts on this, and why we connected to it, and yeah, the different styles. So I'll leave that to you, but I loved it. You know that. And then I finished The Morning They Came for Us. This ended up being a 4-star book because it was important and I got a lot of information from it. I kind of had my head in the sand about the Syrian conflict. I knew it was happening. I just didn't know anything about it, why it was started, who the people were that are involved, still going, right? So some parts of this were written with such great emotion, and because this was the presentation of the human side of this conflict, those stories were I really connected with them and really enjoyed them, and yeah, the writing was really lovely in those parts. And then Janine Di Giovanni, and then she slipped into kind of journalistic mode and put on that, the objective stance. And I know that that's necessary, but I just think that maybe it wasn't needed. Like I much preferred it, that sort of emotional, beautiful writing rather than the journalistic style. So that swapping in and out, yeah, it didn't quite work for me. I also got annoyed with a bit of, author entitlement there. So journalistic entitlement, I don't know, just a bit of entitlement overall. And that only cropped up a couple of times, but it was enough to annoy me. But anyway, it's still a good read. It really is. It's an easy read. It gives you all the information you need to have an overview of what's going on, and to really connect and understand the plight of some people. Yeah, I think that's really important. So yeah, 4 stars. So I finished those 2. So when I did a count of my hours, I read for 7.5 hours in the whole 48-hour stretch. Yes, I did. I didn't even hit 12 hours. I didn't even hit 10 hours. But it was an interesting exercise in kind of working out how I function with my reading, working out what I can handle on a weekend. And I mean, if I ever do this again, it definitely needs to be when I have absolutely no responsibilities and I can just read and be. Yeah, I will line it up again because it's fun. So now I have a starting point, right? I did 7.5 hours. So next time I'll try and do more. And yeah, see how I go. It's just a bit of fun. Thanks for coming along the ride with me. I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.